Your sensitivity and your kind heart are your greatest strengths. They are noble and beautiful. But let's be brutally honest. They are also the reason you keep getting shattered, taken for granted, and left stranded in a world that rewards aggression. You've been told your whole life that your kindness is a gift, a paramount virtue. You've been praised for being easygoing, for not causing trouble, for being nice. But take a hard look at your life. Where has it truly gotten you? You get steamrolled in conversations. Your boundaries are treated like suggestions. And when you finally, desperately, try to stand your ground, you're called difficult or told to just be nicer. You're passed over for opportunities because you're not seen as assertive enough. You become a magnet for emotional vampires who see your kindness as a weakness to be bled dry, and you feel yourself slowly disappearing as you try to be everything to everyone. The world relentlessly preaches a gospel of gentleness, but it feels like that goodness is a profound liability, doesn't it? You watch them, the assertive, the demanding, the ones who aren't afraid to take up space, as they surge forward, claiming what they want and carving their names into the world. And you get left behind, a stepping stone for others, simmering in a quiet, burning resentment. It's a feeling of utter powerlessness that relentlessly eats away at your soul, day after agonizing day.
Constantly suppressing your true feelings, your anger, your frustration, your ambition, doesn't make them disappear. It forces them underground. The great psychologist Carl Jung called this your shadow self.
The shadow is a moral problem that challenges the whole ego personality, for no one can become conscious of the shadow without considerable moral effort. To become conscious of it involves recognizing the dark aspects of the personality as present and real.
The shadow is the psychic container where we banish all the parts of ourselves we've been taught are unacceptable. Our aggression, our rage, our ambition, our dark impulses. It's everything you desperately don't want to be. And the less you acknowledge this shadow, the darker and more potent it becomes. It begins to leak out sideways as passive-aggressive jabs, chronic anxiety, or even acts of self-sabotage. Your body starts paying the price for your psyche's silence. Studies consistently suggest that suppressed anger can be a contributing factor to a host of physical ailments like high blood pressure and a weakened immune system. You aren't just hurting your chances at success, you might literally be making yourself sick.
But what if the answer isn't to be nicer? What if the path to protecting that noble heart of yours and forging genuine, unbreakable resilience isn't to become more gentle, but to do the one thing you have been terrified of your entire life? What if you must become a monster and then learn how to control it? Let's be profoundly, uncomfortably honest for a moment. Our culture has engineered a fundamental misunderstanding of what it means to be a good person. We've fatally confused being good with being harmless. But a harmless person isn't a good person. A harmless person is simply ineffective. They are a rabbit in a world that will always contain wolves. Now, a rabbit isn't virtuous because it chooses not to cause harm. It's just a rabbit. It's incapable of doing anything but being a rabbit. Its only option is to get eaten. This is the tragic state of the too nice person. You don't avoid conflict out of some higher moral principle. You avoid it out of a primal fear. You're afraid of being disliked, afraid of being rejected, afraid of the raw, untamed expression of your own needs and your own glorious ambition. That isn't kindness. True kindness is a choice that comes from a position of strength, a deliberate decision made when you have the capacity to do otherwise. What you're often practicing is a form of self-abandonment called people-pleasing, and it stems from a deep-seated feeling of inadequacy and a desperate hunger for external validation. It's a survival strategy you likely forged in the fires of childhood, a way to ensure you weren't abandoned, punished, or unloved.
From a developmental psychology perspective, this often starts young. A child learns that expressing anger or neediness leads to punishment or withdrawal of love. So they learn to suppress those parts to feel safe. The problem is you never unlearn it. That adaptive child strategy becomes a maladaptive adult prison. You are essentially allowing a childhood fear to run your entire adult life.
Just think about it. How many times have you said yes when your entire being was screaming no? How many times have you choked down your own opinion to keep a fragile peace, only to be left with that bitter, metallic taste of resentment in your mouth for hours, days, even years? You tell yourself you're just being considerate, that you're taking the high road. But the devastating reality is you are actively teaching people how to treat you. You're showing them that your boundaries are meaningless, your time is worthless, and your needs are an afterthought. People don't respect you more for this kind of niceness. They respect you when you demand respect from yourself. The greatest danger of the unacknowledged shadow isn't just the profound harm it does to you, but the catastrophic harm it can do to others. When you spend your life pretending the monster in your basement doesn't exist, you don't tame it. You lose all control over it. You become naive, dangerously blind to your own capacity for darkness.
Jung argued this is how ordinary, good people become capable of truly monstrous acts. When you refuse to consciously see your own darkness, you project it onto everyone else. You see the evil, selfishness, and aggression you deny in yourself everywhere you look.
Projection makes the world a replica of our own unknown face. The victim of such a delusion lives in a world of demons, which he is unable to distinguish from the actual world.
You become judgmental and self-righteous, pointing fingers at the monsters in the world, completely oblivious to the one you are feeding in your own unconscious.
And that repressed monster will not stay silent forever. It waits. It feeds on every insult, every moment of disrespect, every single time you failed to speak your truth. It festers in the darkness, growing into a resentful, bitter, and secretly tyrannical force. And then one day, it will burst out. The trigger will be something trivial, a minor inconvenience at the grocery store, a thoughtless comment from a loved one. But the reaction will be a volcanic eruption of rage that has been building for a lifetime. In that moment, you are not in control. The shadow is. The monster is. And you become the very thing you swore you would never be. A bully, a tyrant, a force of indiscriminate and devastating chaos. Think about the villains in our greatest stories. How many of them began not as powerful, but as utterly powerless? They are the outcasts, the weaklings, the ones who were humiliated and pushed around. Their monstrosity was born from a shadow that was never integrated, a pain that was never confronted, and a power that was never consciously claimed. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche issued a chilling warning. Battle not with monsters, lest ye become a monster. And if you gaze into the abyss gazes also into you. This is the destiny of the person who denies their own capacity for darkness. By refusing to even look at the monster within, the abyss of your own potential for malevolence, you surrender all power to it. It begins to shape your life from the shadows, and you become its puppet without ever knowing it.
Here is the great and terrifying paradox. Trying to be perfectly good and utterly harmless makes you more dangerous than someone who has consciously confronted their inner darkness. A weak person isn't a safe person. Their weakness breeds resentment, and resentment will always seek revenge, often in the most cowardly and manipulative ways. The path of the nice guy, the people pleaser, the harmless rabbit. It's a dead-end road to bitterness, tyranny, and a life lived as a ghost of who you could have been.
If this is striking a chord deep within you, if you recognize that sickening feeling of being walked over and that slow, toxic burn of resentment, then you are standing at the most critical turning point of your life. The rest of this is about the solution. It is not an easy path, but it is the only path to true strength, unwavering integrity, and profound self-respect. If you're ready to stop being harmless and start being truly, powerfully good, then subscribe and hit the bell. You cannot afford to miss what comes next. So if being harmless is the disease, what is the cure? The answer is as profound as it is paradoxical.
As the clinical psychologist Jordan Peterson famously stated, "A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very, very dangerous man who has that under voluntary control." That is the entire key. The goal is not to extinguish the monster. The goal is to integrate it. The goal is to become an absolute monster, to fully acknowledge your capacity for aggression, for chaos, for destruction, and then to forge it into a tool that you and you alone command. This isn't a call to become cruel or malicious. It is a call to acknowledge the capacity for those things that already exists within every single human being. It's about marching down into your psychological basement, turning on all the lights, and getting to know exactly what is living there. This process, often called shadow work, is about making the unconscious conscious, so it no longer directs your life from the darkness. True virtue is not the inability to do harm. It is the ability to do great harm and then choosing not to.
So how do you actually do this? It's a lifelong journey of integration, but it begins with 4 crucial, world-altering steps. Step 1, acknowledge the monster and listen to its rage. First, you must practice a ruthless, unflinching honesty with yourself. Declare war on your own self-deception. Stop telling yourself you're not angry, you're not jealous, you're not ambitious. Your shadow speaks to you through powerful, visceral emotions. That flash of white-hot rage when someone cuts you off, that tidal wave of envy when a colleague gets the promotion you deserved, that is the monster talking. Do not push it away. Do not judge it. Listen to it.
Start a shadow journal. This is not for gratitude. This is for your uncensored truth. When you feel a powerful so-called negative emotion, write it down. I am furious at X because I am deeply jealous of Y because. Don't analyze, just download. Anger is a signal that a boundary has been crossed. Envy is a compass pointing toward a deep, unfulfilled desire. By listening, you start a dialogue. You're bringing the monster out of the dungeon and giving it a seat at the table. You're giving it a voice, so it no longer has to scream to be heard.
Step 2, forge the container. Through discipline and physicality, a monster without a cage is pure chaos. Once you begin to acknowledge this primal energy inside you, you must build a container strong enough to hold it. That container is discipline. This is how you transmute raw, chaotic energy into directed, controlled power. One of the most potent ways to do this is by forging physical competence. Start lifting weights. Take up a martial art like jiu-jitsu or boxing, or commit to a grueling endurance sport. Physical exertion is a primal and healthy furnace for pent-up aggression. More importantly, it teaches you to embrace discomfort and weld your mind to your body. When you know, on a deep cellular level, that you are physically formidable, it fundamentally changes how you carry yourself. You stand taller, you hold eye contact, You project a silent confidence that tells the world you are not to be trifled with. You are building the dangerous part of the equation inside an unbreakable framework of discipline and control. Step 3. Practice controlled aggression through boundary setting. Now that you're acknowledging your inner power and forging a container for it, you must learn how to wield it in the world. You do this by practicing courageous assertiveness. Assertiveness is not aggression. It is the healthy, respectful, and firm expression of your needs and your boundaries.
Fuck off.
It's the ability to say no without a tremor of guilt, to state your opinion without apologizing for having one, and to stand up for yourself when you're being wronged.
Sorry, mate.
Start small, but start now. The next time someone asks for a favor you don't have the energy for, politely but firmly say, I'm sorry, but I can't do that right now.
But I cannot fix this problem for you.
The next time you're in a meeting and have an idea, speak up, clearly and confidently. You must get used to the friction that comes from no longer being a doormat. It will feel intensely uncomfortable at first. You've spent a lifetime avoiding even minor conflict, and now you're walking toward it on purpose. But every time you do it, you are forging your spine in the fires of social friction. You are proving to yourself that you have one. You are communicating that you respect yourself, and that is the only way to make others respect you. Step 4. Find your noble aim. A monster without a purpose is just a weapon of destruction. But a monster with a noble aim is a hero. The final and most essential step is to point your newfound power towards something that matters. Why do you want to be strong? Who are you fighting to protect? What good are you trying to bring into this world? Is it to be a better parent, capable of protecting your family not just physically, but by being an unbreakable, centered example of strength? Is it to be a true leader in your field, able to shatter obstacles and fight for a vision you believe in? Or is it simply to be a pillar in your community, someone others can depend on because they know you are both kind and terrifyingly strong?
This is what transforms pathology into purpose. Without a higher purpose, this integrated power can easily curdle into cynical, self-serving nihilism. But when you anchor it to a noble cause, your monster becomes the engine of your heroism. Your ambition is no longer shameful. It's the rocket fuel driving you toward your destiny. Your capacity for aggression is no longer terrifying. It's the sacred tool you use to defend your values and protect those you love. This is the path of the hero. The hero isn't the one without a shadow. The hero is the one who has integrated it and aimed it at the highest good.
For your whole life, you may have believed that your kind heart was a weakness. You tried to be good by being harmless, and the world punished you for it, relentlessly. The journey we've just outlined is about flipping that script entirely. It's about realizing that to truly protect your kind and sensitive heart, you must build an impenetrable fortress around it, a fortress made of disciplined strength and conscious power. The goal is to become whole, to integrate your light and your shadow, so you are no longer a fragmented, self-sabotaging person, but a complete, awe-inspiring, and authentic individual.
Psychologically, this integration is the pathway to genuine self-actualization. It isn't about eradicating your kindness or sensitivity. It's about building a formidable conscious structure of strength around it. This allows your inherent goodness to operate from a place of authentic power, not from a place of fearful compliance.
The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. This confrontation with the shadow is the essential test of courage.
This isn't about destroying the gentle, sensitive, and compassionate person you are. It's about creating a sanctuary where that person can finally thrive, safe in the knowledge that they are protected by a formidable guardian you have consciously and painstakingly built. To be a monster under voluntary control means you can be peaceful, but you are never harmless. You can be compassionate, but you will never again be taken advantage of. It is to have a sword, to know how to use it with lethal precision, and to choose, from a position of absolute strength, to keep it sheathed. The world does not need more harmless people. It has plenty of those, and they inevitably become resentful and bitter, creating far more chaos than they prevent. What the world desperately needs, what your family, your community, and your own soul needs, are good people who are capable of being dangerous. It needs men and women who have descended into the abyss of their own souls, confronted their inner monster, tamed it with discipline, and aimed it at a noble and heroic purpose. It needs you to stop being a rabbit and start becoming the civilized, controlled, and virtuous monster you were always meant to be. The process isn't easy, but the prize is nothing less than the reclamation of your own soul. Stay lit.